reaching the conclusion of this text. We just have a few more, maybe a couple of paragraphs to cover.
Definition of Badita you mentioned, Jaykumarji.
So, I can't hear you, Sunita.
What is the definition of Badita you mentioned?
Yeah, Badha. Telugu, there's a word Badha. I remember. Em Badha means, what is your problem? What are you suffering from? What is your disease?
It's there in Hindi also.
Hindi maybe hai na, Badha.
Badha is like object.
Obstacle more.
Hindrance or obstacle.
Obstacle, yeah, em Badha, correct. What is the obstacle? What is the obstacle? So here Badha, you can say obstacle. You can say obstacle also. Because why? Negation is an obstacle. Something which is an obstacle to what it is. That is the way to look at it. So snake is there. But the snake has an obstacle. The snake wants to say, I'm real. But then there is an obstacle. What is the obstacle?
No.
Buddhi, the rope itself is not an obstacle, remember. Because if rope were an obstacle, the snake would not be there on the rope. Correct? Rope itself is not an obstacle for the snake. Because snake is quietly sitting on the rope. So what is the obstacle for the snake? Rope knowledge. Rope jnanam, rajju jnanam is obstacle. So therefore, in this example, we say that rope knowledge is badhakaha, the negator or negating element, negating entity, and the snake is badita. Badita means negated. Badita. So that which was, if you have to use the word obstacle for this badha, then what do? The obstacle, I don't know what. Rope knowledge should be called an obstacle, I think. Badakaha is an obstacle for the snake to be what it is. And snake is badita. Snake is obstacled, I suppose. The snake is negated. Snake is removed. The obstacle has been removed by that which has the capacity to negate, capacity to remove an obstacle.
Perception will be Badika and perceived will be Badita.
Yeah, you have to give a particular example before we can say that. Yeah. So in the case of vision, we don't use badita when perception and things like that. Only when that which has to be negated, that which has to be disproved, that which has to be removed, only there we use the word badita and badaka. So in perception and all, that doesn't fit well. So badita. So you thought somebody was the mayor of the city, and you said hello. I'm so happy I could meet the mayor finally. And then somebody says, no, he's not the mayor. Then what? So something was badita. My idea of the mayor is badita by the new knowledge that has come. Or they give another example in the Shastra. Shuktika Rajat. Shuktika Rajatam. So Rajat is silver. Shuktika is shell. Shell, as you see in a beach, you see a shell, snail's shell. They say, if you go in the night when there is a moon, then you will suddenly see shining silver down. Shining silver. And it shines, it seems, in the moonlight, it's shining. And so that is Rajat. Then you go pick it up, you find a shell. And the internals of the shell, when it has water and all, it reflects the moon and it appears to like silver. Like that, they give that example. So the silver is badita. The snail knowledge, the shell knowledge is badaka. Correct? That's the way we say.
In a different way, can we say that the enemy, the rope knowledge is the enemy of, not literal, I mean, but yeah, for understanding.
Yeah. You can figuratively enemy.
Figuratively.
Enemy. The sunlight is enemy of the darkness. Light is the enemy of darkness. Ripuhu. Ajnana. So, good. So this is what they say, no? Ajnana timirandasya jnana shalakaya. Same, exactly the same thing. So in this Guru Stotram we get that. So Ajnana timirandasya, where does it come? So it comes
Chakshurin Melidam.
What is the first line? This is the second line.
Ajnara Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya.
Chakshura Nirmitam Ena Tasmai Shri Guruvena.
Correct. So this is the first line. Okay. So same thing. Timira. That Timira is that cataract. So they are equating this. They're using the simile of the eye and saying just like the eye is covered by cataract, Timira, and just like the doctor uses a needle. So they use shalaka. Shalaka means needle. So just like they use a needle to remove this fine layer of cataract, like that, by that same way, by this, the teacher using the fine needle of knowledge, jnananjana shalakaya. Shalakaya chakshuhu unmilitam. The eye is unmilitam, is opened. Like that verse says, right?
Yeah.
Very beautiful.
Yeah.
Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, we say. So for that person who does that, my salutations.
To that Guru.
So correct, you can say that, Prasad.
Yeah.
The enemy. So the important thing here is what can be this enemy of something? Depends on what that something is. Correct? Depends on what that something is. Very important to acknowledge. So if something fell in the water, fell in the well, you need the appropriate tool to get that out. Okay. So you can't get, these days they cut trees with this big machine. And then within a minute, it just cuts the tree. They call something. What do you call it? So that saw, some kind of a saw, power saw. Let's call it a power saw. So you can't bring a power saw to remove this fallen object from the well. Irrelevant. So like that, the tool that is being used has to be appropriate to the object that is being addressed. And likewise, when a thorn is there in the leg, and you're asked to remove the thorn, you need another pointed needle. They say another thorn. In fact, they say a thorn must be used to remove a thorn, they say. So Badaka and Badita. So Badaka also has to be properly chosen. So here, because Ajnanam is the problem, Ajnanam cannot be removed by karma. Very big thesis in Vedanta. By now you must know it. So Avirodhitaya karma. Is the Tattvabodha. Avirodhitaya karma. And then Vidya Vidyam Vinivarteva, something like that, that is the verse. So karma cannot remove ajnanam. Karma is unopposed to ajnanam. And therefore, what can oppose, what can be the so-called enemy of ajnanam? If you say, jnanam is the only enemy of ajnanam. Nothing else is. Nothing else will work. So that is badita bhadaka.
So is it like in a case of superimposition, the thing that is superimposed is the badhita, and the knowledge that removes the superimposition is the badhaka.
Correct. That is what it is. What is superimposed is badita. And what is used, what is effective in removing that superimposition is the badaka. Agent of negation, badaka. And what is negated is badita. Correct. That's what it is. Adhyasa, superimposition. Adhyasa is badita. And therefore, this particular approach is also called Adhyaropa Apavada Prakriya. Adhyaropa Apavada Prakriya. Now that we are talking about it. Adhyaropa means superimposition. Adhyaropaha means what? Superimposition. So when we talk about the world, when we talk about this jiva, this body, etc., it is all adhyaropa. Everything I will say, an average person will say when they talk about the body or the things in this world is all a superimposition. Correct? It's a superimposition. So that's called adhyaropa. And it's adhyaropa because when satyam, when that is not satyam, the entire world is superimposed on the satyam. And this jivatvam is superimposed also on atma. So it's called adhyasa. That superimposition is adhyasa or adhyaropa. And so the adhyaropa is first shown. And then apavada. Apavada means negation. Negation. So the adhyaropa must be shown first. It must be shown that I am seeing a snake. And then it must be shown that the snake is removed in the wake of knowledge. That process of removal of the snake is called apavada. Correct? So often you might see in some of these textbooks, Adhyaropa Apavada Prakriya. Like that they would say. So very important. Very important. So therefore you will see some phrases like neti, neti, etc. Neti. Na iti. So they will say neti, neti. So neti, neti means what? Na iti. No. No means interpreted several ways again. No, what you say is real is not real. Not satyam. English word is not acceptable here. Not real, not as real as you think it is. Okay, that is na. Neti, neti. Why 2 times? Because you point to anything in this world. So it implies repetition. Anything you point to is not satyam, is not Brahma. Anything you point to is mithya. So, na satyam, na atma. And so by using that approach, then we use the body first actually. So the confusion lies in this body. I confuse this body to be alone, to be myself. That's where the confusion starts. So this Kriya generally highlights the Adhyaropa on the body. Adhyaropa of the body on Atma. Because that confusion can be easily unfolded, can be easily seen. Then when the confusion is recognized, then the Apavada will start working. Negation will work. And the Atma will be recognized. Good questions. Badhita, Badhaka. Anything else?
I thought the Abhavada is a rumor.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
I said Abhavada, is it a rumor? Also, it has a meaning.
Apavada, does it have the meaning of rumor? It might have. We need to look up the dictionary.
There is in Malayalam there is a similar usage. Yeah, that's why maybe apavada means like saying bad of others or something.
Gossip or rumor or I don't know. So,
Yeah, gossip.
What Appa does is Appa reverses the meaning of a word. So Apashakunam. You may have heard of this. Apashakunam.
yeah.
Shakunam means a nice, something good omen, they say in English. Apashakunam, opposite, not a good omen. So Vadaha means an argument. Apavada means what?
Kudarkam.
Kudarkam. Apavada means Kudarkam. So in this case, we have to be careful. We have to use Apavada means a perfect antidote for my confusion. Antidote, you need the right antidote. So they say in those days, they used to the children born in the tribes, people living in the forests, they're given snake poison. Given snake poison means in some way they must give it, I think. So that from a childhood they develop this immunity to snake poison.
Yeah.
And we can appreciate it because living in a forest, snake bite will be normal, will be common. And you have to go through all these woods. And so I can appreciate that. So right antidote for snake poison is snake poison.
In Kerala, they used to do that in people who are living in high ranges or where there are a lot of snakes.
Okay, in which first word we missed? Where?
I'm saying I have seen it in Kerala. People, kids, they give it.
Yeah.
Because they're, you can get a lot of snakes at home. Even my own house, we had plenty of snakes.
Oh, I didn't know it was that common.
Yeah, it is used to given.
I had
There is a one Vaidya used to come. He used to come and with his prick it. It's like an acupuncture kind of thing.
I'd read about this in Chanakya's story. He would give little bits of poison to Chandragupta.
They used to do that. I remember that. I've seen it in my childhood.
Given in very small dilutions. So
whatever it is, I'm just saying is it used to.
Correct.
And from the local zoo, they used to get the venom.
Amazing it is. Really amazing.
Jacoji, I had one question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So after one gets this knowledge, it destroys the ignorance in a certain way, but the mind still continues with its tendencies, right? So what steps must someone who has gained this knowledge take so that those tendencies which are opposed to this knowledge die down over time?
Yeah. So the question is, after one gains this knowledge, then what about these tendencies that we have? We seem to be guided by our tendencies, and somehow the knowledge doesn't seem to yield its benefits.
Yeah.
That is the question. So that is very well recognized in the Shastra. Very well recognized, because that's the way it is. So, Sakashayam Vijaniyat, some statements are there. So that is why when Yajnavalkya teaches Maitreyi, he says, Atma va are Shrotavyaha, Mantavyaha, Nididhyasitavyaha. This is the famous statement found in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Okay. So he says, after all this teaching, he then says, Atma va Shrotavyaha. Shrotavyaha means must be listened to. Must be listened to. He doesn't say Patitavyaha. He says Shrotavyaha. Must be listened to. Because listening works. Listening carefully and properly with attention works very well. Much better than reading. We don't say reading doesn't work, but reading, the problem with reading is when there are any doubts, nobody is there to clarify the doubt. And though you keep going along with your doubts, and so there can be a potential for forming your own opinions in reading. So anyway, so Shrotavyaha is the first thing. One must be exposed to the Shastra. So listen to the Shastra. That is the first advice given. Shrotavyaha. Okay. Then Mantavyaha. Mantavyaha. Second one, Mantavyaha. Means Mananam Kartavyaha ityartha. Mananam. What is Mananam? Having listened to the Shastram, I gain an appreciation of the subject matter. So I begin to understand this Adhyaropa, Tattvabodha. I begin to understand Satyam, Mithya. I begin to understand the role of karma and the role of jnanam. Everything I begin to understand. Now a lot of clarity is developing. Then doubts will be coming. So when clarity is there, then as the thinking process proceeds, there will be doubts. That doubts must be clarified. Doubt clarification is called Mananam. So Mananam also includes like the Purva Pakshi. So if I may not have a doubt, the teacher will create a doubt, create a situation. What?
What happened?
Can you all see me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that Purva Paksha Siddhanta is a very important aspect. Asking questions. Asking questions is nothing but Mananam. Meant to clarify. Because the attempt is to understand. When something is only to be believed, there is no Mananam. There is no Mananam. Something is only to be believed. So, a lot of things we only believe. It can't be proved, can't be disproved, belief. So, even Ishvara, when we start our life and throughout our life, we only can talk about Vishwasa, Ishvara Vishwasa, belief in Ishvara. Yeah, thanks to the Vedas, and I believe the Vedas, and I believe everything it says, and I can see a whole life based on that. So, a lot of beliefs are there. But here, it is jnanam, and therefore, when jnanam is there, then something has to be understood. This Mahavakyam is an equation; it must be understood. An equation is meant for understanding, not for believing. Correct? Not for believing. 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. We say, how do you know 2 plus 3 is equal to 5? My teacher told me, and I believe my teacher, I trust my teacher, therefore 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. Is that what we will say? Now, somebody who says that is thoroughly confused. You are welcome to believe your teacher, you are welcome to respect your teacher. I know you have a lot of respect, she taught you a lot of things, but that's not the reason 2 plus 3. Your teacher is not the reason 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. 2 plus 3 is equal to 5 because it is a fact. Do you understand the fact or not? That is what matters. Therefore, when something is to be understood, then questions are automatic, questions are normal. And so that questioning and clarifying process is called mananam. Mananam. So Atma Bhava Are Shrotavyaha, Mantavyaha, and Nididhyasitavyaha. He uses the third one, he says. After clarification, then nothing is left. No, he says Nididhyasitavyaha, which is precisely the answer to your question. After knowledge, all this takes place. I am now clear, but then like this, I am conditioned to doing certain things. I am conditioned to responding to situations in a certain way. I am conditioned. Therefore, that knee-jerk reaction, we can use the word knee-jerk reaction, is there for any situation. I lost my wallet. Then what? So this one happened. I told you, I think, right? In a temple, that I had some cash in my pocket and I lost it. And suddenly I was going around and I realized it just not there in the bag. So somebody must have taken it, or it must have fallen down somewhere. So knee-jerk reaction is to panic, because that's how we have led a life. And anxiety, everything happens. So then this is what this knee-jerk reaction. How do you stop this? Nididhyasitavyaha. So there we say one has to contemplate on this Atma as Shuddha Chaitanyam, as Nityam, as Shuddham, as Buddham, etc. So that requires sitting in a place, and you can call it meditation, but it's a special kind of meditation called Nididhyasana, where all facts are known and you simply recall that fact. You recall that fact. You recall that fact. Aham Purna, Aham Purna, Aham Nitya. Because conditioned, I am Anitya. I am Anitya condition. I am Anitya condition. Aham Nitya. Aham Nitya. This is called Nididhyasana. Correct? So that is what is recommended as an important part of this teaching. And so hopefully someday, we can for those who are interested, I can teach you meditation. Important, an important part of our daily and weekly life. And once we get into that groove, then Nididhyasana will come in time, once we get used to the meditation, dhyana. And so hopefully, with I'm sure Ishvara will provide us opportunities for that also. So maybe I can.
You teach it over Skype, meditation and stuff?
So that's what I said. Ishvara should give us that opportunity. So should open up, should give us something. And so, if
I would love to join something like that if it happens.
We don't know. I mean, if it's over Skype, maybe we will be fortunate.
so typically our meditation sessions are about half an hour, and during which there's a lot to learn about meditation. What is meditation? What is the purpose of meditation? Who is the meditator? What is being meditated on? All these things are nicely unfolded, and gradually meditation is unfolded, and different types of meditation. All these things are there. So perhaps we can have some sessions on that topic when the time is right.
Jayakumarji, one just follow-up question. So you said Nididhyasana has to be done in a separate place generally, but is it also possible to do it while you are working? Like as and when any situation arises, you suddenly view it from the perspective of this knowledge. Can it also be done like that?
View it from the perspective of, what was the word?
I mean, from this different perspective that you have gained from this knowledge, from this perspective, you start seeing everything.
Correct. So the question is, can I now use the knowledge I've gained and can I recall it as I lead my life and go through various situations?
Yeah.
So that is a must actually. That is a must, and we do that. So periodically, we do recall the teachings, and so the more we study the subject, the more we tend to do that. The more we will recall good situations or not so good situations, pleasant and unpleasant both.
Yeah.
And we recall this subject, and before that, prasada buddhi and ishwararpana buddhi. So prasada buddhi is there. So whatever comes from Ishvara, because everything is Ishvara. Therefore, then slowly my resistance reduces. I'm resisting everything. I want this, I want that, anything and that I don't get, I don't like, anything I don't want, I don't like. So this dislike pressure is there, and slowly that pressure is loosened, like a shock absorber. This prasada buddhi and ishwararpana buddhi comes, and the pressure is to a large extent gone. Pressure may arise, but it will go away. It will go away. And the more I bring this teaching into my life, the pressure will go away quickly also.
Yeah.
And the pressure comes because of that knee-jerk reaction. So yes, we must recall this subject, and this Upadesha has to be recalled. And when we study Bhagavad Gita, there is Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. So that gives us a lot more. I don't want to use the word technique, but because of the change in vision, so different ways in which in difficult situations, how to see it, and in seeing so how it helps us. So we can see all of that. So correct. So that we generally we don't call that as nididhyasanam, what you just said. That is also part of mananam, and that is also trying to bring our teaching. They say Gita in daily life, right? You must have this popular topic, Bhagavad Gita in daily life. So Bhagavad Gita in daily life means what? So life is daily only. There's no other life, unless there is something called annual life. And annual life means annually you sign this life insurance, right? That is annual. And life is daily only, momentary only. So then you bring the Bhagavad Gita teachings, and so initially it starts like chanting, like attending classes, like that it happens. And we have to keep doing that. Then when we do that, then slowly you will find that without your knowledge, you are able to recall, and it is already helping you. Without you realizing it, you will find that it has helped you a lot. So nididhyasanam as an activity means you are spending some time on the Mahavakyas, on the teaching by yourself for some time. So the deconditioning happens. This is deconditioning. Then during your day you bring, and then for that you have to be alert, and then again there also deconditioning happens, because you caught yourself. You had a knee-jerk reaction, then you caught yourself and say, wait, pause, press the pause button for a while before I react. So that's a very, very good. If you have come to that point, that means you're already having a say over your responses. Already you're having a say. You're saying, okay, this is not pleasant, but I am not going to react. I'm not going to react. So that itself, you got that. Good. So we will continue in the next class. If there are any more questions, we can continue later. Okay.